Hey there, Coach Devin here. We are going to talk about why you need resistance training to have a better life. That's what we're talking about today. Before we get going, please click the subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and ideas on fitness. I have been doing this for 26 years. This is my passion. The whole reason I do this channel is to provide you guys with information and hopefully help you to get more fit. That's the whole point of this thing. So hit that subscribe and you'll get updates and notifications about, when I do new videos. And also please click the like button and comment if you have a question or a concern or you think I'm wrong. I'm happy to hear from everybody. All right, let's talk a little bit about why you need resistance training. Now, not that long ago, and I get it, I'm getting a little bit older, but not that long ago, women would come to the gym and they didn't like to lift weights. It was very difficult, in fact, for me to get my clients to lift weights who were female because they wanted to get on the treadmill and walk or jog or be on that elliptical or the stair climber. That was back in the day. It wasn't even a step mill. It was the old style stair climbers. And they would just, they would get on that for hours, like an hour and a half of cardio because it was always like, I want to tone. I don't want to get too bulky. That's still a thing I hear sometimes. Women say, I don't want to get too bulky. You're not going to get bulky. That's the first thing to get off, out of the way. You're not about to get bulky. If it was easy to get bulky, I'd be enormous. I promise you. I've been trying to get bulky my whole life. Doesn't work. It's really hard. And as a woman, it's even harder because of estrogen. You have less testosterone. There's a lot of things that go into it. Ladies, don't worry about lifting weights. Now, I think that has gotten better over the years. Women are lifting a lot more weights and realizing, hey, I can be feminine and have some muscle. Still works, it's still fine, and there's no problem with it. In fact, they're healthier and they look better, right? It's a win, so women are doing less cardio, which is great. You shouldn't do tons of cardio. But why do we need resistance training? What is the point? Well, the point is, wherever your age is right now, let's say you're 30. 30, you feel pretty good. You feel like a normal person, you can do all the stuff you want to do, right? At 30, going forward, you're going to start to lose muscle mass. And you lose somewhere between 3 and 5% of your muscle mass year in, year out from about 30, 35 on. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot. 3% of your muscle mass is not a lot. Let's just take the low number. We'll say 3% from 40 on. So you're a 40-year-old man or woman. You can do all the things you want to do in your life, right? You're happy. You're playing golf. You're playing with your kids. You're enjoying your life. You're doing snowboarding. You're biking, whatever you want to do. You know what? You're just doing some fun things. If you need to do them, you can pick stuff up. You can put things down, but you don't do any resistance training. You're just like, nah, I don't need that stuff. In fact, you know what? You're my brother. My brother doesn't love fitness. He's not a fitness guy, doesn't want to lift weights, thinks it's kind of stunned, so he doesn't really do it. He likes to say, Devin, when I die, I will be so much happier because I won't have wasted all that time in the gym. He actually says that stuff to me. He really supports my career choices, as you can see. Anyway, you're a 40-year-old. You start to lose muscle at 3% a year. How noticeable is 3%? Well, not much, to be quite honest. The first year, between 40 and 41, you're not even going to notice it. The second year, you're at 6% now. Well, that's still not that noticeable. The next year, you're at 9%. Well, maybe a little bit. And you're like, well, I'm 43. I'm starting to feel not quite the same as I did before. And then you're 44, and it's at 12. You're 45. It's at 15. You know what? By the time you are 50 years old, and I know 10 years seems like a long time, but it really isn't overall. Let's be honest. 50 is not ancient anymore. In 10 years, you will have lost 30% of your maximum ability to do things because you will have lost 30% of the muscle mass in your body. 30%. Now, does that seem like a lot? Yeah, it's a lot. And the scary part is you're going to lose another 30% going up. By the time you're 60, you could have lost upwards of 50% or more of your muscle mass and your ability. If you've lost 50% of your muscle mass, you've lost 50% of your ability to do the things in your everyday life. That means picking up that jug of water, hard now. If you've lost 30% of your muscle, it is hard to carry that jug of water. It is hard to pick up your kids or your grandkids. Things are starting to get tougher. Your groceries now, you're picking them up, that's a lot of work. You're mowing the lawn, that's tough. Shoveling snow, If you live in a place that has lots of snow, you shovel the snow. 40, you're gonna be like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's a little tiring. 45, it's a lot more tiring. 50, now it's tiring. 55, you're exhausted. And 60, hey, now I got to hire somebody to do that job. People quite often say to me, Devin, why do you work out so hard? Why do you like to exercise? Well, there's really two reasons. Obviously, I started for the aesthetic side of it. I wanted to be big, right? I like bodybuilders. I like football players. You know, I was like, I want to be big. Now it has changed. I'm 46 years old, and my thought processes are very different. Now I look at it and I say, okay, why do I want to keep muscle on? Why do I want to be stronger than I was before? Because I don't want to be limited later in my life. My dad does not lift weights, but he's an active guy. He is 83 years old now. He's 83 years old now. And at 83 years old, my dad's still pretty active. He still knew a lot of stuff. He still likes to go for hikes. He does a lot of things, right? That's what my dad likes to do. He still wants to be engaged in life at 83 years old. That is where I want to be. In fact, I want to be better than where my dad is when I'm 83. God willing, I will be 83 at some point, and I'll be able to do more than my dad. What does that take? Well, that means you need to keep the muscle on your body, because if you consistently lose muscle at 3% or so per year, by the time you're 80, you will have lost a ton of muscle. It's not about just looking good or not looking good when you're older. Lots of people go, oh man, it's gross being older. Well, you know what? Lots of people can look good when they're older too. I've seen many, many people who are in their 70s and 80s who have muscle who look like they're 25 and 30 years younger and act like they're 25 and 30 years younger, because you know what? Their life is not limited. They're able to do all the stuff they want to do and all the things they were doing before. And why could they do that? Because of resistance training. Now, I'm not saying you have to be a bodybuilder. I'm not saying you have to do, tons of exercise. 3 times in a week will do it. If you lift weights, not even aggressively, just lift weights and maintain your strength at 40 until you're 65, guess what? You're going to be able to do a ton of things that all of your friends, your spouse, everybody else, they won't be able to do that stuff. That is why resistance training is so important. It's not just about the ability to do the things you want to do right now. It's thinking ahead. We're talking foresight. We're talking making a decision so that the older version of you looks back and says, wow, that was a good call. I'm able to do all the stuff I've always wanted to do. Great, I can still live my life. I don't think anybody out there wants to say, I'm 65 years old, I'm retired, and I can't do anything because I'm too old to do it. Listen, I can tell you right now, you have a choice. You can be 65, 75, 85, whatever, as a healthy person who can do everything they want in their life, or do you want to be the 65, 75, 80-year-old that we've all seen who's unfit, unhealthy, unable to do the things in their life, and they basically sit around all day? How fun does that sound to you? I know this sounds like no fun to me. It sounds like it would be an awful situation to be in. So I don't want that. That's why I lift weights. That's why I think it's very important. It's not just me thinking it's very important. It is extremely important for everybody to have some sort of resistance training program so that you will be healthy later on. So you'll be able to do all the things you want later on. Quality of life, guys. It comes down to quality of life. Can you do the things you want to do? Are you happy in your life? Well, I can tell you right now, for me, I would not be happy in my life if I couldn't do the things I want to do. That's just a fact. I want to be able to do things. And I understand as you get older, some things will change, but you know what? I just want to be able to say, Devin, if you want to do that, you can do it. There's no questions. You can handle that. That's what I want, and that's what I want for my clients. I want you to look good, I want you to feel good, and I want you to be able to maintain that long term. If there are questions, comments, things you want me to talk about, type them up down below. I'd love to hear from you. Most of these ideas come because people say to me, hey, Devin, I got an idea. I disagree, I agree, whatever. I like to hear from everybody, and that's why I come up with this stuff. I've been doing this for 26 years. I've been a trainer, and almost 27. And I like to help people. This is the point of it. I want to share my passion with you. If you enjoyed this video, heck, if you even haven't enjoyed the video, click the subscribe button and the like button down below, and you will get more tips, tricks, and ideas on fitness from me at least 5 times a week. Have yourself an amazing day, everybody. Don't fight the awesome.